We're here with Lottie Higlett, who is one of the dressers on the Chalk Garden at the moment. Lovely to have you here, Lottie. So, got a few questions for you. First off, what got you started in theatre? How did you end up here?
Well, I've always been involved in theatre. I was in the youth theatre when I was younger, and I was also in the technical youth theatre with Sally. And I've always kind of been here with my dad and things like that. I also went to uni, and I graduated last June, and I know Melody, who used to work in the wardrobe, quite well, and that's how I ended up here, really.
Amazing. And in terms of this production, how many costumes are involved in the Chalk Garden?
Not that many, because it's quite a small show. There's not many actors in it, and most of them have only a couple of costumes. I only dress 4 of them, but there's not many, and because it's quite a modern piece, even though it is technically period, there's not many because it's over the period of a kind of couple of days that the story kind of unfolds, so they haven't really changed that much.
And are they all authentic, or were they specifically made for the show?
They were all hired from Angels, which is the normal place where most costume designers tend to go nowadays. They are all period. Some of them have been made. All of Penny's Penelope Keith's have been made because she is the star of the show, and a lot of Amanda's have been made as well, and that's just because of the shape and because of budget, things like that.
Amazing. So, do you have a favourite costume from the show?
I really like Penny's purple one. I really love that one.
The velvet?
The velvet purple one. I think that's one of my favourites. Or Caroline's orange one. That one was actually taken from an original 50s pattern. The coat from that one, and that was really amazing when that was unwrapped from on the stand when we were waiting to put it into the wardrobe. We all went, oh my gosh, it's so orange. But no, that's really lovely.
And what does your role as a dresser sort of usually entail on a day-to-day basis?
Coming in, setting up the dressing rooms, checking that they're all still okay from last night, doing my preset. I have a plot which I have to follow every evening, presetting all the stuff ready for changes, and then just checking everybody's okay, changing people into their costumes if they need a hand, if it's corsets or things like that, and then just waiting until the quick change and ready for my cue, and then bringing in the laundry at the end of the evening, and that's it really.
Amazing. Which brings you on perfectly to the next question, which is, are there any quick changes in the performance?
Yes, there are. They're not what I would call quick changes. We call quick changes probably something that's a minute or less. They're just changes. I mean, the one I have with Amanda from her first costume, which was when she arrives into her gardening costume, I think we have about 3 minutes, so we've got quite a lot of time, which is quite nice because it just means that I can check her over and make sure she's got everything, and if anything's wrong she can tell me then. But yeah,
absolutely. And what does the setup involve for a quick change in a show?
We do it in the quick change in the dock backstage, which is normally where they would be. Sometimes they're in the dressing rooms. It just depends how much time the actor's got until they've got to go back on. I normally just set it up on a chair, put their costume out. There's quite a specific way of laying it out, so they can either step into it on the floor, but just the kind of the movement that you have to do and the communication between the actor. There's not much words spoken, it's just sort of tapping feet and moving hands into place and things like that. But yeah.
Amazing. And is there any special care involved in the costumes that are authentic, that are vintage?
Yes, I say this quite a lot when I do tours. A lot of the original stuff from Angels has never been washed, obviously because it's vintage. Especially with Emma, who plays Laurel, her pink dress, that's vintage, and that can't actually be washed, because if it was washed, it would completely destroy the fabric. So we normally spray it with vodka and water, which sounds very, very strange. But we normally spray it, and that's antibacterial. We just spray it under the arms, which is the smelliest place they're going to get. And that's all we pretty much do, and then iron it, and then she wears it the next evening, which is kind of gross, but that's just the world of costume and wardrobe.
So, how long have you been at the theatre here as a dresser?
At the theatre as dresser, I started work last year,
Okay.
and that was on Fiddler on the Roof, and that's my first time in wardrobe.
And do you have sort of a dream goal, a dream job?
Yes, I'd like to do what my dad does. I'd like to be a satin costume designer eventually, one day. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
And do you have a dream show you'd like to work on?
Ooh. I've never been asked that one before. It's a really good one. I'd love to do some sort of Shakespeare or something like that. Maybe Midsummer Night's Dream or something crazy.
Yeah.
That's really wacky. But period, so I can do quite a lot of imaginative stuff with it. Yeah.
Amazing. And a final question.
Yep.
Because it's Father's Day this
Yes.
weekend. How is it working alongside your dad?
It's pretty amazing. I always get so many wonderful compliments wherever I go, where people have worked with him or they know of him, and it's very funny kind of going to places like where I'm going to do my opera in London. The lady who is my costume supervisor actually was his costume supervisor many years ago, and it's very, very strange people saying, "You're just like your dad," or "God, you look like him," or "Oh my goodness, he's your dad." So it is amazing. He's an extraordinary person and so clever. I think the set for Chalk Garden is just extraordinary and so much detail, and that's what I love about him. I think is the detail. I think that's the most
It's an
important thing.
absolutely beautiful show visually.
Yeah, when we went on it for the first time, we only saw half of it because the dresses don't tend to go on the set. We're not really welcome. It's not really our domain. We go back into the dock, and we came on just to see it, and then we went round by the side of the staircase, and we went, "Oh my God, there's another section." So it is like a film set. This one, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
and we hope you've enjoyed the run and
Yes.
enjoy the next run of Me
Yes.
and My Girl.
Yes. It would be
And good luck for everything
good. Thank you
else.
very much.
Thank you.